Alright guys, welcome to the Horror Appraisal again. I'm Sam.
I'm Evan.
Here we are continuing our 64 horror film face-off.
Yeah, we're totally not doing this the same night. We're not wearing the same t-shirts or anything.
This is our second bracket. For instructions on what we're doing, check out our first bracket. You should be watching the second video anyway without watching the first one. Go check it out. Anyway, here we go. I'm going to go ahead and start us off and pick the first movie.
Hellraiser was the winner of our first bracket.
Yeah, Hellraiser won against TCM2. That was a heck of a fight, wasn't it?
Yep.
All right. First movie. Dawn of the Dead.
Shit.
Dawn of the Dead.
All right, so arguing for which film is better, Dawn of the Dead versus
Oh, God.
Sleepaway Camp.
Oh, why?
Well, you did this.
Where are we doing this to ourselves?
You did this. All right.
All right, let me write this down here.
Okay. I'll go ahead and start talking while you're doing that. So, Dawn of the Dead, one of the most, if not the most innovative zombie film, written and directed by George Romero, changed how we did horror movies for years and years and years. Great effects by Tom Savini. Tells really a great allegory for also man's inhumanity towards man and what we're willing to do when faced with these awful times of the undead, absolutely bringing an end to the world and life as we know it. So I think it's a film that says a lot about a lot of different topics, how we lose our humanity towards each other, the way we act towards each other, and also having these things, these zombies, really kind of how they don't even view those as people after a while. It's a thinking movie too.
Dawn of the Dead is one of my favorite zombie movies, if not my favorite zombie movie. Largely in part to George Romero and Tom Savini. We've met one, we're going to meet the other this fall.
Yep.
Amazing stuff. Sleepaway Camp, another film we've met some people with. We've met Felissa Rose and
great
John
memories
Pearson.
of watching Sleepaway Camp.
Sleepaway Camp has one of the most shocking endings of all time, and that's really most of what's going for Sleepaway Camp.
Sleepaway Camp is a very fun film, of course, with its great shocking ending where you find out the killer's true nature, of course.
I love the dynamic in that film, though, overall.
Also, too, I will argue that Sleepaway Camp has great energy, really great performances by its characters. It is, of course, a camp slasher. It owes some of its credit to the original camp slashers, such as The Burning or Friday the 13th. And as far as the best film, I'm just going to go ahead and say it, Dawn of the Dead.
Dawn of the Dead for me, too. I mean, it's hard to argue that.
Yeah.
I mean, we love Sleepaway Camp, but Dawn of the Dead.
Yeah. Dawn of the Dead wins over Sleepaway Camp. Oh, that sucks. I love you, Sleepaway Camp.
It would happen eventually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So, let's go on.
All right, your turn to draw first.
All right, here we go.
I'll write down.
All right. So, going next, we have House of a Thousand Corpses, written and directed by Rob Zombie.
Now, this is kind of more what I was hoping would happen.
I love House of a Thousand Corpses. Great movie.
All right. So we have something that's a totally different era, probably going to match up against something classic.
We'll see.
Let's see what we got. I was wrong. The Babadook.
Ooh.
This is a good matchup.
House of a Thousand Corpses versus the Babadook. All right.
I'm going to go ahead and say the Babadook is part of this resurgence, reinventation of what horror films should be these days, and it is reinvention.
Go ahead.
This is Scotch. It's this part of this revolution, and it is a good film.
Absolutely.
But for me, I'm going to say House of a Thousand Corpses.
Oh, thank God.
Because it's a really great slasher. I don't like the ending because it's so different from the rest of the film, and it just doesn't really make sense. And I think Rob Zombie got that because when he made Devil's Rejects, he didn't even mention Dr. Satan. And why did you crap your pants?
I didn't. I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, God. Anyway, my vote goes for House of a Thousand Corpses.
Well, I have to say, that actually surprises me. I thought you would fight for the Babadook more. Well, the Babadook is a great film, and it really says a lot about how people deal with grief and guilt and other things. As far as I go, I'm going to go with House of a Thousand Corpses. For me, it's a funner film. It's got great special effects. Not that the Babadook didn't. I just love... And that's the only place where you and I disagree. I love the ending to House of a Thousand Corpses when she gets lowered into the pit and she goes into Dr. Satan's waiting room and he's all there with all that apparatus on him and he's operating. I love House of a Thousand Corpses. So, House of a Thousand Corpses over the Babadook. All right. So, you go first. We're going here, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Ooh, it's a good one. From Beyond.
Oh my
It's
gosh.
a Jeffrey Combs masterpiece. H.P. Lovecraft wrote the book. It's based on H.P. Lovecraft film.
Mm-hmm.
Stuart Gordon did the film.
Mm-hmm.
One of those great movies. And
Yeah,
it's
great effects.
Ken Foree.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that's a great one. So From Beyond is going to go toe-to-toe with Suspiria.
Oh, buddy.
Okay, so here's where we go. From Beyond. From Beyond, great film, great actors, great story. Of course, another film, much like Hellraiser, another film about trying to reach the furthest experiences of human
experience. Further reaches of human experience.
I said that weird. Yeah, sorry, I screwed that up. So, about someone going to another dimension and becoming a god, basically.
If you love effects, you really should watch this. It's kind of like a Cronenberg film, except maybe better than the average Cronenberg film.
Could be. Yeah. Could be. However, Suspiria. You know what, Sam? Suspiria is so personal to you. I'd like to hear what you have to say about Suspiria.
Suspiria is one of those... It was in probably my first 200 films that I purchased.
That sounds so ridiculous.
Somebody mentioned to me once, you ever seen Suspiria? And I was like, no. I saw the special edition of it at Suncoast.
We got it about 15 years ago.
It was a 38,000 copy limited release. It is the big Anchor Bay release.
Oh, yeah.
When we watched this film, Dario Argento directed this. It is beautiful. The lighting is amazing. The soundtrack is from Goblin. It is just so impactful. Suspiria impacted my life. One of my favorite kills of all time, where the chick falls from the skylight and is hung by her neck after being stabbed in the heart. Oh my God. This film is just...
Yeah. Plus also, too, just the scariness of Suspiria. From Beyond is scary, but Suspiria is scary.
Yeah, it's about witches, and it spawns like this weird, crazy trilogy.
Yeah. I'm going to say the better film for me is Suspiria, and I love From Beyond.
There are times when I might love From Beyond more as far as like a viewing experience.
Okay.
But I vote Suspiria because of its quality, because it is just put together so well.
It's a beautiful film. You guys have to check it out. All right. So, there we go. Next round.
Yeah, I drew, you drew, I drew, then it's your turn.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got it right.
Okay. Okay, cool. Sorry. Well, you know what that means. Okay, so. Okay. So, now. Oh my God.
What is it?
Creepshow.
Oh, Creepshow.
I can't let Creepshow fail.
I had to put that in.
We're going to have to fight for this. We're going to have to fight. It better not be up against like Nightmare on Elm Street. That's going to suck.
Halloween. Please come on, Halloween.
No, I'll argue it.
I got to get Creepshow out of here. No, I love Creepshow. Don't let me mess with you. Don't let me
He just knows how much I love Creepshow.
Oh, God.
What?
A Nightmare on Elm Street 2.
Shit!
2. Oh, buddy. If you all have watched our films or our reviews over the time, you know how much we love Nightmare on Elm Street 2. Creepshow. I will let Evan argue on this one.
So, between Creepshow and Nightmare on Elm Street 2, I'm not going to bullcrap you. My favorite Nightmare on Elm Street film is Nightmare on Elm Street 2, I believe. Sam and I have enjoyed watching it many times. It's got some great effects in it. It's so special.
It's one of my go-to films.
Yeah. Creepshow, for me, is absolutely one of the best horror films ever made. It's like a great throwback to the horror comics at the time before the Comics Code Authority. It's got all these great stories. It's fun. As far as viewing experience goes, I really can't say Creepshow is better than Nightmare 2 or Nightmare 2 is better than Creepshow because I enjoy watching both films so much. Sam, I'm going with Creepshow because of its anthology kind of take on everything. I enjoy it more because of the stories, of the effects, the nostalgia it creates in me. I love it.
Well, I might surprise you with my pick here. Nightmare on Elm Street 2 is one of my favorite Nightmare on Elm Street films. By saying that you enjoy Nightmare on Elm Street 2 more than Nightmare on Elm Street, you're saying that Creepshow would be better than a Nightmare on Elm Street. That's a stretch. Might be difficult. I'm going to say because of the influence, because of the support that we've seen on Creepshow, because of the fan base that Creepshow has, and because of what it did for film, because of who is in it, who directed it, who wrote it.
George Romero, Stephen King.
Adrian Barbeau's in this. Tom Atkins
Tom Savini does the effects for Creepshow.
I vote for Creepshow.
I am surprised.
Over Nightmare on Elm Street 2. Nightmare on Elm Street 2 is very near and dear to me. It's my first Nightmare on Elm Street movie that I saw.
Me too.
Okay, we gotta move on. Creepshow 1. We got our time limit. The camera cuts off after 20 minutes for some reason.
I feel like I'm going to vomit.
Well, it's okay.
I feel like I just chose between parents, and both of them were awesome.
All right, guys. The final 4 of this second round that we have. Dawn of the Dead versus Suspiria.
Oh, my God.
Now, House of a Thousand Corpses versus Creepshow. All right, first, Dawn of the Dead, Suspiria. Let's get the hard one out of the way.
I'm voting for Dawn of the Dead. I feel that Dawn of the Dead is a more... because of this. Because
1 year separates their release.
Because Dawn of the Dead is the more influential film. I personally enjoy it more. I personally enjoy Dawn of the Dead more than Suspiria, even though I love Suspiria. There are different kinds of horror movies. I knew this would be full of really tough decisions as far as making... as far as saying, this is going to win over this film. I'm going for Dawn of the Dead because of the enjoyment I get from it and its influence.
I think it's funny that 2 films that both have soundtracks from Goblin and
Wow.
And Dawn of the Dead, their European cut was cut by Dario Argento.
Yeah, the director of Suspiria.
So, but I vote for Dawn of the Dead. It's an amazing film. There are very few films in the world to me that are going to beat Dawn of the Dead. Not many.
Yeah.
Dawn of the Dead wins between.
Okay, that's fine. So let's do this one really quick. I'll get down quickly.
All right. House of a Thousand Corpses versus Creepshow. I love House of a Thousand Corpses a whole lot.
Me too. I probably love House of a Thousand Corpses more than you. Might be fair to say.
I enjoy watching House of a Thousand Corpses more than Creepshow. But influence, House of a Thousand Corpses, I wouldn't say has faded really quick, but it has not had the same kick
hasn't
in the
kept
ass.
the same luster.
It hasn't given the same kick in the ass to the horror genre that Creepshow gave.
Yeah.
So Creepshow wins.
Creepshow, I feel, is a better horror movie than House of a Thousand Corpses. Woof.
All right, now Creepshow versus Dawn of the Dead.
Both George Romero films.
Both Tom Savini films.
I don't know how we're going to do this.
I'm just going to make it real simple.
Go for it.
I vote Dawn of the Dead because it out of the zombie genre. Creepshow has how many sub-stories does Creepshow have? 5. It has 5 chances to be short and sweet and not get stale. Dawn of the Dead takes one idea and doesn't get stale. For 90 minutes or 98 minutes.
An hour and 45 minutes.
It's a long movie.
That, yeah.
It goes long and it doesn't get stale.
2 hours.
Influential zombie effects. One of the best head explosions ever. I got to go with Dawn of the Dead.
All right. Okay. Creepshow is sometimes my favorite horror film of all time. I love it. Dawn of the Dead. Dawn of the Dead wins over Creepshow. As far as I have to say, if I have to pick one as a better horror film, Creepshow still has that awesome cheesiness that like the EC Comics and stuff had. It's got great actors, great performances by great actors. Hal Holbrook, Tom Adkins, Leslie Nielsen.
So many great actors.
Yeah.
It's a good one. Dawn of the Dead.
I don't feel good.
Beats Sleepaway Camp, House of a Thousand Corpses, The Babadook, From Beyond, Suspiria, Creepshow, and A Nightmare on Elm Street 2. A lot of our favorite films were in this second round. So, what'll be next in round 3? You'll have to stay tuned to watch. Be sure to check out our first one and subscribe. I'm Sam.
I'm Evan.
We're the Horror Appraisal.
Good night.